everybody. Good afternoon. I am Dr. Richa Dwivedi from ZenOnco.io and Love Heals Cancer. Today's session is about creating awareness around cancer. Let me first introduce you to ZenOnco.io and Love Heals Cancer. We guide cancer patients in their treatment journey. We aim to improve the quality of life of cancer patients through an integrative oncology approach that includes both medical and complementary treatments. We provide end to end care to cancer patients and also help in their counseling sessions, medical cannabis, anti cancer diet, Ayurveda, pain, and palliative care. For today's session, we are joined by Dr. Majid, a highly distinguished medical professional, teacher, researcher, and medical communicator. Hello, sir. Welcome to today's session.
Yeah, hello. It's a pleasure to join you there. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So, let me take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Majid. He completed his MBBS and MS from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. He pursued his doctoral in surgical oncology from IRCH AIMS and advanced surgical oncology training from National Cancer Center, Japan. He has been a part of numerous publications and research. In his career expanding over a decade, he has received various awards and accolades. His mission is to make cancer awareness and treatment as a tool to prevent the increasing incidence of cancer in the society. And today he's joined us for that. So thank you once again, sir, for taking time out from your schedule and joining us for this session. Would you like to say anything before we begin with the Q&A session?
We can go ahead with it, no problem.
All right, sir. So, sir, firstly, can you help us understand why early detection of cancer is important?
Yeah, definitely. We all know that cancer is a very deadly disease. Okay. And if you see, today in India, we are, diagnosing cancer. At least around 15 lakh patients are diagnosed every year. And sad part is that out of those 15 lakh patients, by the end of the year, we lose around 10 lakh patients. So that means the mortality is very high. If you see corona, out of 100, one dies. But here, if you see whoever is diagnosed with cancer, out of 2, one dies, or maybe even more. Now, why? And our meeting today is to make people aware that these both survive, because cancer is a curable disease. And to some extent, it is a preventable disease. And even in the last stage, where the patient comes in a terminal end stage, we can at least make his life easy. We may not be able to, cure him, but at least we'll be in a terminal stage, make his life like pain-free and all that. Now, why is this? Why so many people die from cancer? You see, in stage 1, I say there is nearly 100% cure. In stage 2, there is nearly around 80% cure. In stage 3, there is nearly around 60% cure. And in stage 4, hardly 20%, or they do not survive. So if you understand, if we are able to spread awareness to one and all in such a way that all over the world, if people are aware that if the cancer is diagnosed in stage 1, the cure rate is 100%. So why in India? Why are the patients dying? Because of the lot of myths. First, no one would like to go and get themselves treated. They feel if surgery is done, if a biopsy is taken, the disease spreads very fast. This is a very big myth. If a biopsy is not done, how will we know whether it is cancer or no cancer? To know whether it is a cancer, we need to confirm it. Maybe there is a lump and you are thinking that it is cancer and you're worried about it. So the myth which is there, taking a biopsy. Second thing is people, whenever you tell them a surgery, they run away because they feel, and if someone comes and tells them, you take this treatment, you will be cured. Because the disease, when it comes in stage 1. It takes around 2 to 3 months to go to stage 2. It takes another 2 to 3 months to go to stage 3, another 2 to 3 months to go to stage 4. So there are many people who make big claims that I have all the cure, and you don't have any cure. They say that I'm neither a doctor, but still I'm, having this cure. So such people should be aware of not going to them when they're not qualified and they do not have the research. And you see the whole world, from in every state of India or every country, India, Japan, US, Russia, what they are taking the treatment. We should go for that treatment. And what here at Zen Onco, what we are offering is that treatment, the treatment which will cure your disease in a where lots of people, for example, breast cancer. We have studied around 3 lakh patients. Then we saw that surgery helps. We saw that chemotherapy helps, radiation helps, and then we concluded. So we are not experimenting on you. We are giving you an ethical treatment where if I am diagnosed with cancer, I will take the same treatment, but not like others who will claim that we have cure, but when they are diagnosed with cancer, they come to us for the treatment. So this, what happens is, people go to them and they lose the first 3 months. Then they go from stage 1 to stage 2. Then they go for another method of treatment. And we are all spiritual and religious. So we try to, and ultimately what happens is, by the time we are able to take a decision, it's already a very long time. And the disease which was curable 100%, when you reach, it's either in the stage 3 or stage 4. And the cure rates fall to 60%. And that's the reason we see many people dying from cancer. So straight away, whenever you are diagnosed with cancer, think what we have said in Zen Onco, that yes, it's a curable disease. Yes, it is totally, we have got the treatment for it. You come to us, take the complete treatment. I'm sure you will get the treatment. Or else what happens is, you will come, I tell you a biopsy, I tell you to come and see me in the OPD, you run away, and after 6 months you come, you take a biopsy, I take a biopsy, and you die. Then you will think, what? See, good, we didn't take a biopsy 6 months back. Today we took it after 6 months. Today he died, or else he'll have died 6 months. No, the problem is your wastage of 6 months, which you allowed the body to grow nicely. See, a plant grows in 6 months, your body grows in 6 months. Why will not the cancer grow in 6 months? Cancer grows, like today there are 2 cells, tomorrow there are 4 cells, day after tomorrow there are 8 cells. After that, there are, hundreds of 100 to 200. So it multiplies very fast like fire. So it is very important for you not to waste time, but to go for the right treatment, which is being offered at an affordable price. We should go for that and take the best treatment. See, ultimately, we have to trust. We have to have faith. And when you believe that you will be cured, then only you will. If I treat you, what? But if you feel, no, I'm going to die. So you have to have mentally, socially, physically, have faith that yes, this is the treatment and this is the cure what I'm going to get. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, sir. So I think knowing the stage of your cancer is very essential to determine maybe your cure rate and the treatment which would be required further.
Yes, basically you have to reach on time. You have to reach the right place. You have to, for some time, you have to, leave your job, leave your this for some time, dedicate yourself totally for your health, cure yourself, and then live your 100 years life. And, see, there are so many examples who suffered from cancer. It is a very, 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 a common disease. If you talk about the celebrity, Rajesh Khanna, Vinod Khanna, Rishi Kapoor, Shashi Kapoor, Firoz Khan, and not only that, if you see the politicians, you see Sharad Pawar, you see so many of them, and many of them, are alive also, who have got themselves treated on time, and, and they're been cured. So cancer is curable. Cancer is, if you want, you can to some extent prevent it also. And it is totally, and don't think the cancer treatment is very, painful and all that. No, it is not. It is just a myth. Today, the advances are so high. The advances are so right. It is not a painful treatment. It is, but you have to, believe, and you have to come to us. and we will show you how it is. And there are, if you ask me, wherever you are staying, there are so many patients whom we have cured. We can give you examples, their numbers. You can discuss with them so that you develop faith, or at least you come and meet us. Okay.
Thank you, sir. And sir, I mean, what are some early signs of gastric cancer that one should look out for?
See, for all cancers,
Hmm.
the problem is, for example, the gastric cancer is in the stomach.
Hmm.
Okay. And you know, stomach is how big?
Hmm.
If I keep one football inside the stomach,
Hmm.
if I keep a football inside my stomach, you'll not even come to know.
Hmm.
That means, what I mean to say is, for example, I give you example of Manisha Koirala.
Hmm.
I hope you know her.
Yes, yes.
She's an actress,
Yeah.
and she's alive after going treatment for cancer. She had one big tumor as big as a football in her stomach. It was from the ovary.
Mhm.
Stomach is also in the stomach area. Okay. Now, that tumor started growing, and she was at the age of 42, 43. And she never realized that she has some problem.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then one fine day, when she was trying to give some acting, she collapsed and she was rushed to a hospital. And in the hospital, they asked her, why didn't you realize that such a big football is there in your stomach size tumor? Why didn't you come to know? She thought, naturally, her stomach, in that, it will be misplaced. You cannot even find it out. It will get, lost. She said, I thought maybe my age is growing. I'm aging. And that's why I used to do a lot of treadmill. I used to do a lot of exercise. I used to do so many things,
Mhm.
and all that. So she thought, probably, um, probably that I'm having no disease, no problem, nothing.
Mhm.
The message what I give is, the symptoms will come late. Always in cancers, the symptoms don't come early. By the time the symptoms come, it is already too late. Like in her case, already it was in a locally advanced disease.
Mhm.
For example, see, um, you are eating,
Mhm.
you are able to swallow big things. Then after some time, a time comes where you are able to swallow small things.
Mhm.
Like, for example, you're not able to eat that big meal what you used to take. Then you start developing difficulty in swallowing liquids also.
Okay.
Then you start developing, you're not able to take even a drop of water in esophageal cancer.
Mhm.
So initially you feel I'm okay, but when the pipe is totally blocked, for example, you're passing stools,
Mhm.
you are able to pass nicely. First, initially you will develop that you're not able to pass stools properly. Then you will feel that you're having constipation. Then you feel that liquid stools is coming. Then you get distension of abdomen, you start vomiting and not even able to pass flatus. This happens in colon cancer. So like this way, the symptoms, by the time they come, it is very late. So normally in general, I will tell you few of the symptoms of the cancers. Like, for example, you take oral cancer.
Mhm.
In the mouth, there is an ulcer. First, initially to begin with, there is no ulcer. There is a red or a white patch.
Mhm.
Then afterwards, you develop an ulcer. The ulcer becomes big, or you are not able to, if it is on a tongue, you are not able, you have pain, you are not able to talk, or you are not able to swallow. Okay. For example, voice box cancer. You are able to talk, but suddenly your voice becomes small, and suddenly you are not able to talk. Like, for example, in esophagus cancer, I told you, are able to eat nicely, then you're not able to eat nicely, and gradually you're not able to take liquids, then you're not able to take anything. And for example, in breast cancer,
Mhm.
you have a lump.
Mhm.
Initially, such a big breast, one small lump is not noticed.
Mhm.
So one of the lump, then what happens? Nipple starts, secreting some fluid, red fluid or something, bloodish discharge, not whitish discharge. Then what happens? Nipple starts going in. Then what happens is, there is a pain in the breast. Then it starts becoming like an orange, shiny. Then you get holes like an orange. Then you start getting lumps in the axilla also. Or for example, you take lung cancer. You
Mhm.
start, like, for example, there is a cough. Then there starts coming blood. For example, whenever you cough out, blood starts coming from the mouth. Or if it's in stomach cancer, blood starts coming from the vomitus. Or sometimes if there is a cancer in the mouth, somewhere there is an ulcer, it may bleed from the mouth. There may be sometimes bleeding from the nose in nasopharyngeal cancers. Sometimes there will be, bleeding from the stools. If it is a colon cancer, there may be bleeding from the vagina. If it is a cervix cancer, there might be bleeding from the urine when it is a kidney cancer, when there is a bladder cancer, or when there is an ureter cancer. So like this, there can be, different types of cancers can present in a different way. For example, stomach cancer, you may get vomiting. For example, in stomach cancer, you may start feeling like, you don't feel like eating. You may lose weight. You may lose appetite. And then you may start vomiting. Or if it is a liver cancer, you may develop jaundice. There may be obstruction. Like this way, whenever there are cancers in the body, they'll present. But by the time the symptom comes, it is always too late. The best thing is if your symptoms do not go away in 10 days, your symptoms do not get this in 10 days, it's an alarm. Okay. Go and see your doctor. Go and see your doctor. For example, if you have symptoms in the ulcer in the mouth, bleeding in the mouth, or for example, this occurring, then if your doctor, ENT, head and neck, or anyone, they will tell no, they'll take a biopsy and then you can come to us. For example, if there is difficulty in breathing, swallowing and all that, probably it's a laryngeal cancer. You go, ENT fellow will take a biopsy, he'll confirm, no, it's a cancer, you can come to us. For example, if there is a lung cancer, patient is coughing out blood in the cough and all, and there is a mass in the lung, you initially go to a physician, they will diagnose, they will send you to us. For example, if there is an esophageal cancer, you're not able to eat and all, they do an endoscopy, take a biopsy, they send it to us. If it's a stomach cancer, they will do an endoscopy, they will take a biopsy, no, it's a cancer, you go to Zen Onco. Or they will go to, if they have cancers in the liver or a gallbladder or in the colon, not able to pass stools, not having constipation, or if it's a cervix cancer, there is a bleeding PV, and normally the bleeding should occur during the menstruation, but even after that it is entering during odd period after the age of 45, 50. If it is there, then it can be, if there is blood in the urine, it could be a prostate cancer, it could be a bladder cancer, it could be, you should see, then come to us. Once you are diagnosed by the urologist, you can come to us and we can treat it. So this way, these can be the symptoms which the patient can come to us, and we can, have a look, and we can, try to cure, treat, and make your life back as normal as you were before, and you can live a healthy and a happy life in future.
I think, sir, you've pointed out a lot of signs and symptoms to watch out for. But sir, like you spoke about breast cancer. I mean, what role do genes have to play in, detection of breast cancer?
Yeah. See, normally the breast cancer, it is the cancer because of the hormones. It's estrogen, it's progesterone in your body. Okay. And what we do is we try to suppress those hormones. How do we try to suppress those hormones is, for example, not getting married on time, not, feeding the children, taking OCPs, oral contraceptive pills. So normally, if you see among the causes of breast cancer, what it is, early menarche, late menopause, means you become fertile early, and then, you remain for a longer time. Or for example, you're not getting married on time, you're not producing children on time, or if your hormone levels in the body are not in the right plane, or what you said, the gene point, the BRCA1, BRCA2 are the genes in the breast. Like if you see the example of Angelina Jolie, who is an actress, and she removed her both breasts because her BRCA1, BRCA2 both were positive. So she thought she has a high chance of developing breast cancer in future. So she got her breasts removed, and we got them reconstructed. So, but it is not common. Normally 5 to 10% of the patients, 5 to 10% of the patients, they may have this gene problem. or rest 95% doesn't mean that for example, I have breast cancer, that my children will have, or like the mother has, doesn't mean that the children will have, or if a sister has, the other sister will have, or if the grandmother had, means the grandchildren will have. But there is a 5 to 10% chances where the genes can be responsible. And in the families where breast cancer runs, they have to be extra cautious. How they have to be extra cautious is by getting them screened, like doing a self-examination of the breast every month. You examine your breast, no lump, okay. Second thing is, like every 6 months, you see your physician, your gynae doctor, or your onco doctor, or someone who can, examine it clinically. And then, since you have a family history that there was there, then you can get an ultrasound done once in a month, or an MRI done once in a year. Okay, so that you keep a track that you're not developing it. And you can go to the extreme. For example, you think your mother's sisters, and the BRCA1, BRCA2 is positive, then you can think of getting it, prophylactically, going more forward, as Angela Julie did it. But overall, if you see breast cancer, no need to panic. Most of the females, they have lumps in the breast which are benign. 80% of the lumps in the breast are benign. So you need, sometimes if you find a lump, and you should not panic and think that it's a cancer and take it for granted that it's a cancer and now you're going to die. No, it is wrong. And I'll give you an example. Breast cancer is such a cancer which has a very high chance of cure. If you take an example of Mumtaz, the actress who was there, she was diagnosed with this breast cancer around 30 years back. Then she got herself treated, and now she's, I think, around 70 something, and she's doing very well. She's with her grandchildren and all. So what I mean to say is the message, she also developed, she got herself treated on time, and she has a curable disease, and she's disease free now. She's already above 70. So what I mean to say is, don't panic. The lump can be benign. It's not necessary that it is cancer, and it can go on for a longer time also. Okay, so the idea is that genes, don't worry, don't use your brain too much, and don't use the internet or use and become a doctor yourself, and then implant the cancer in your body, and you start treating yourself, and ultimately you don't have cancer, but you will die because of the worry. So don't worry about the genes, don't worry about the see, when it comes, your doctor will tell you, guide you, this could be because of the genes or anything like that. Okay, so one good thing about breast cancer, it's a very good disease, it's a curable disease. Be on time, and it's not that people have a myth that they will lose the breast. No. First, if it's a small lump, less than 2 centimeters, we'll remove only the lump and preserve the breast. If it is more than 2 centimeters, around 5, it's very big, then maybe we may remove the part of the breast and try to recover. If by chance the disease has spread late, because you go into so many babas and so many things, and then coming late to us, then also we can remove the breast and make a new breast. You will still continue to have a breast, because what we are doing is, we are removing the breast, we are removing the axillary node, and we are trying to make a new breast, so that at least psychologically, socially, that you have a breast. So that way, things can go on, and we can live a very good, happy, and a healthy life.
Okay. So sir, similarly, can you put some light on the oncoplasty procedure which is performed?
Acha, that's a very nice question. Yeah. See, normally what happens is, you see the breast. For example, it is like a big, just an example, like a coconut. Okay. And in that, if you have a small lemon inside it, inside the coconut, I can remove the lemon from the coconut, and still the coconut will remain like a coconut. So this is one type of an oncoplasty, where you have removed the lump, you have removed the disease, and still your breast looks like a breast. Okay. What we are doing is, we are mobilizing the local tissue and making the new breast. Second is, what we do is, we take the tissue from other part of the body, some muscle. We empty the coconut, we keep only the cover of the coconut, and inside it we fill it with the muscle. So whoever touches, whoever looks, and it looks like it's a normal breast.
Okay.
This is one more thing, where you use the LD muscle, where you use your own body tissue, your own body fat, and fill it. Sometimes what we can do is, we can use silicone matter, which feels soft like a breast. What we can do is, we can put a balloon and inject it inside it, the balloon will inflate and your breast will look like a breast, and the feel will be like that. It's a silicone implant. Sometimes what you can do is you can take the silicone material itself and just implant it inside. Okay, then also you have a breast. So the different ways of oncoplasty. And for example, oral cancer, you have removed the mandible. You can place it with a plate. You can place it with a bone from your hand, from your leg or something. That is the oncoplasty what we do in the, because for example, you have removed the tongue, you have removed the mandible, you have removed the skin. You cannot leave it open like a Terminator. We have to fill it up. We'll have to fill it up. Okay, we'll have to. Okay, I just was getting a call. Okay, we have to fill it up. So what we do is we take a muscle from the chest, or we take a muscle from the thigh. We take the bone from the leg so that it looks good, nice, and beautiful. Okay, and plus at the same time, little bit of function is also preserved. Okay, this is how we proceed with it.
I think the example.
So oncoplasty like this, like this, oncoplasty different. For example, you have removed the stomach, esophagus, so you can get the stomach pulled up in the neck. Okay. For example, there is a bone resected. We can place up the bone with the bone. For example, from the thigh, from the buttock, you have removed some tissue. You can get the adjacent muscles over that area. So like this way, we can do the reconstruction and all that. Okay.
Okay. I think the examples make it more easier to visualize the things which you've said, and it's better to understand. So, sir, since you've spoken so much about oral cancers, I mean, usually we know that there's a habit related to it. I mean, so what advice do you give to patients who come to you and are detected with a precancerous lesion? I mean, how do you ask them to give up on their habits?
Yeah, what happens is, see, normally these addictions are not very rare. See, you go to school, in schools, somehow you come across all those things. Or what happens is you see your grandfather or your celebrity, putting a cigar, throwing it down. Or you see your parents taking a glass of beer, alcohol, and sharing. And you think these are all normal things. These are not the normal. See, neither your grandfather, nor your father, nor these people knew that these are harmful things. These destroy your body from inside. And more above that, they give you an addiction. And they give you an addiction. So if you tell a person with the tobacco to throw, you imagine on the tobacco, it's very clearly a big picture is given, in which they show a person will develop this tumor in the mouth, but still people chew it. Okay, like for example, Corona phone comes, a call you'll receive, you have to maintain safe distance, you have to, do not touch anything like that. You wear a mask and all those things. But still people listening every phone 100 times a day. No one wants to wear a mask. No one wants to, maintain or practice. Like that, in cancer, it is written, a big picture is there on it. But still people don't want, they want to put it in the mouth because of the habit, because of the addiction. See, once a person goes into a big major trauma, see, you see every year because of tobacco, lakhs and lakhs of people are dying, not only because of cancer, because of heart attack, because of asthma, because of the lung destruction, because of the stroke in the brain. And you see, lakhs and lakhs of people are dying because of the disease caused by this tobacco. But because of ignorance, since you have raised the issue in Zen Onco, it's a very important issue, and it should be for all the people to know that, yes, tobacco is harmful. It causes stroke. It causes, heart attack. It causes lungs. You cannot breathe. Most of the people who have died in Corona are those who are addicted to tobacco. Why? Because already your lung is damaged, and before your lung has been damaged because of the hookah, gutka, cigar. So you are not able to maintain the saturation. You are not able to breathe. But some Babas say there is so much of oxygen in the air, use your cylinders, but they're not able to use those cylinders which the God has given them, and they're collapsing. So it has to be very, very thing. Don't think of what people are saying and start taking tobacco. Those cylinders will not help you. Ultimately, what will help you is quitting tobacco. All that will help you is leaving tobacco. How you need to do is, for example, you are taking 2 packs, you need to take 1 pack. First, you need to realize what is there in tobacco. There are 700 different ingredients, out of which that 100 cause cancer. There are such things like cyanide, nicotine. Now, there's so many things are there which are very, very harmful to you. For example, if you use tobacco, your wife will go away from your children because you'll be spitting red. They will not like to talk to you face to face. You should know what are the disadvantages also. And plus, you will die of stroke, you'll die of heart attack, you'll die of cancer, you'll die of lung attack. So why so much of tension when there is already so much of stress in your life? So gradually try to taper on it. And on one fine day when there is a birthday, give a gift to yourself. The biggest gift is saving, extending your life warranty by years. Why? You quit tobacco, you have given a wonderful gift to yourself. And always don't meet your friends, those who chew tobacco. Stay away from them and convince them to leave. Don't go by the shop where you used to go and buy the tobacco. Whenever you feel that, see, there is an urge. When that urge comes, you can kill anyone to get that. So avoid the temperament by watching TV, talking to friends, talking to good people, keeping yourself mind diverted. For example, you're used to go to washroom with tobacco, keeping in your mouth. Try to develop good for constipation, take some medicine or something like that. You make a decision, yes, I'm going to leave. Then you work on it. Then you work in such a way there are no temptations for it. And for example, you break it. For example, think for 1 month you left it and you took now today. Now next time leave it for 2 months, then leave it for 6 months and completely leave it. Then there are centers, rehabilitation centers. There are therapists who give you guidance. For example, you're used to tobacco, suddenly you're not able to, your urge is coming, you're doubling deficient. You can take a nicotine patch or anything, which is in a low dose, plus you will not be putting in your mouth, at least that habit will go. And gradually taper on it and leave it. Thus leave all your habits. You're gifting yourself a new life by quitting tobacco. Those who want to live, please quit tobacco or alcohol or any addictions, for example. You may be into any type of an addiction because all addictions are dangerous to you, to your family. Your children may learn from you. Do you want your children also to die from the same, inheriting this from you, that tobacco, alcohol, or drugs are good or something like that? Please, please, please take this message from the Zen Onco. Please quit it.
I think those were really wise words, sir. So while I was doing my research on you, I came across how you are trying to make, spread the awareness about cancer in rural cities. So, I mean, what according to you are the steps which need to be taken to spread awareness about cancer in rural cities so that it can be detected at an earlier stage?
Yes. For example, see, in rurals, now you have so many melas, you have so many gatherings and all that. So there, na, you can make the children in schools, the children can perform how dangerous tobacco is, or how dangerous alcohol is, how dangerous is, how cancer comes. So someone can play a role of a cancer doctor, someone can play of a cancer patient, how they are dying of cancer, what are the symptoms. So vision, and more above all, you see the media is very important. The media should take up this issue. Don't take up only small issue. One person dies, his body is floating in the ocean, and humiliate us in the whole of the world that see people are dying because in Corona and so many people are dying here and all that. See, one case doesn't mean, see, when you're saving 3 crore people who are diagnosed with Corona, don't take one person who is then, humiliate like this. So like this way, the actual message should be this media can go in a positive way. How? By propagating. For example, this video is there, make it viral. Let people know your near dear ones. By you spreading this awareness, people from you, 10 people, those 10 will spread to 100, 100 will spread to 1,000, and people will get a positive message and a positive vibe. See, people, cancer was there in the past, cancer is there today, and it's going to be in future. Corona was not there in the past. Today it is there. After future, it will disappear. Like how the diseases, the pandemics which have come before in the past are no more there now, and all that. So how we can do is in rural area, people should, the family members should dictate on the children. No, it's a bad habit. In schools, the teachers should dictate on it. The politicians should dictate on it. There should be big articles like how you advertise advertise awareness of cancer everywhere. And wherever anyone gets an opportunity, talk something good, about the symptoms of cancer and all that. So like this way, see, we can have, whenever we have so many good programs on, you can have one program on awareness of cancer or for good health and all that, so that we have a positive health everywhere. And the government should start spending more on the GDP. See, our healthcare collapsed. because there is certain, see, we spend on 4% on GDP. I think we need to spend 10 to 12% on GDP. We need to spend, because I'm healthy, I will go to office, I will work, I will earn, and I can, make a positive. If I'm unhealthy, if I die, now what about those people who have died from cancer? What about their children? Definitely they'll become poorer and poorer. What about the education? So we have to break the chain. So then we have to get awareness so that people are aware, they stay healthy, and government spends on them. We spend on health. Give health as a priority. You're not ill, don't go to office. Take care of your health, because if you are there, then you can do many things in future. So spreading awareness through media, through articles, through nataks, through films, through this, we can spread the message to in schools everywhere, so that everyone is aware how we can, then when people are aware, they will not come in last stage, they will come in first stage, they'll live for 100%. No matter why 15 lakh, there are 25 lakh cancer patients in India, all 25 lakh will survive. Why? Because of the awareness coming to. This can be only breached by awareness, 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 by knowing the symptoms, by knowing the screening programs. Like, how can I, for example, there's a breast cancer. We told what? Self-examination, going to the hospital, clinical examination, getting an ultrasound or a mammogram done. For example, oral cancer, go to the hospital, the doctor will examine you. If you have been a smoker, if the red patch, white patch, he'll give medicine where it will subside. He'll tell you to quit tobacco. If he's suspicious, he'll take a biopsy and you'll get treated. For example, there you have problem, not able to eat and all. Go to the doctor, they will do the screening, they'll do an endoscopy and all. You have cervix cancer, bleeding is there. They will take a pap smear or they will take a biopsy. You're diagnosed, they will remove the uterus. You live a happy married life with this, and at the same time, you're cured from the disease. For example, you have stomach cancer, endoscopy. Like this way, the awareness. For example, colon cancer, they can do a colonoscopy. For example, your family has spread from, you had died from colon cancer, or someone is dying colon cancer. Children can undergo colonoscopy once in 10 years. They see there is anything, they will diagnose early. If no, you can lead a happy life. Meaning to say, awareness, screening is very important. And see, like that way in cancer, some infections cause cancer. Like human papilloma virus causes cervix cancer. Human papilloma virus causes oral cancer. Hepatitis B causes liver cancer. H. pylori causes stomach cancer. So we can get vaccinated with hepatitis. We can get vaccination for cervix cancer with the vaccine which is available with us, like Cervarix and all those things. So we have, and the government has to come in, bang, rather than spending lakhs and crores rupees on treatment, spend some money on awareness also, building the infrastructure and all that. This is how, we can overcome. I'm sure we are going to have one of the best healthcare system in India in the near future. I'm sure our awareness will reach every home, every doorstep. People will start coming in early stage. Out of the 15 lakh patients, I'm sure we'll be able to save the 10 lakhs which are dying because of cancer, by our approach, by our positivity, and the people getting more positive. Let them not think that this disease is, a disease of some, if someone in the family has, oh, that cancer family. Anyone in the family, sports star, can develop cancer. You see, there are innumerable examples. Film stars can develop, politicians can develop, you and me can develop, doctors can develop, every one of us can develop. So it is a common disease which occurs to everyone, and it is a curable disease which can be cured. You see, lakhs of examples are there who are living 100 years of their life. So I don't think so there is anything to worry, think that it's a passport of death, or think that it is, it is not at all a contagious disease. It does not spread from one to other. Those who are diagnosed with cancer, they need a psychological support, they need social support, they need financial support. If you are the friend, you are the relative, you are the parents, you are the brother, you should come, leave your job for a couple of weeks. See, you could have suffered from this disease, but God has not given you, but he's giving you an opportunity to save your brother, to save your family member, save your friend. Join hands together and, work together, and see that he comes out from this phase, which is a temporary phase, and assure that this patient has a healthy, safe, and a good life like how you and me have.
Right, sir. So, sir, before we conclude this session, is there anything else that you would want to say to our viewers today?
I would say these days it's an era of Corona. So, see, we had first wave. Now we are undergoing the second wave of Corona, which was very deadly. And see, don't take it casual. Don't have casual approach for corona. And I'm not talking much about cancer because right now everyone is aware of it. But see, we are here to deliver you good health. See, there is a lot of myths about vaccination. People think, there are myths like, if you give vaccination, someone is trying to kill you, a particular society. If you get vaccinated, you will become infertile, you will not produce children. Some people say there is a chip in it. I know that chip is going to be injected. See, it's a simple vaccine which is being injected to you. Okay, no community. Here, the government of India is trying to save you by giving you vaccination free of cost at your doorsteps. And vaccine is the only weapon to defeat this corona disease. How I'm saying is, see, I was vaccinated. My parents were vaccinated. My wife was vaccinated. My patients were vaccinated. Believe me, those who were vaccinated, first, they did not die of corona. Number two, if they developed corona, it was just a simple hospitalization, normal medications. Okay. And these myths which are there, like, are all fake, that you take a vaccine, you will develop corona. No, it's a dead virus. How can it become alive going into your body? Are you Bhagwan? Okay. And then they say, you test positive for corona. No, you don't test. It's a dead virus. How can you test positive for corona? Nowadays, if you have to go to travel to your office, the office will first ask you whether you are vaccinated. If you are not vaccinated, your office is not going to take to you. The teachers going to school, they will have to be vaccinated. Meaning to say, a stage is going to come everywhere where you go, you will have to show your certificate that you are vaccinated if you go to travel. So don't mix your opportunity to, not to get, you need to be vaccinated. In simple, before ending, I would say is basically it's a corona. The corona, which is there, is a deadly disease. Lakhs and lakhs people have died. See, the government had issued notices on phone, ringtone, everyone, see the corona, but still we didn't like. See, we had religious gatherings, we had social gatherings, we had political gatherings. Ultimately, we landed up in a big mess where, everyone needed a hospital and we all were responsible for it. Let's not make this in future. The moment you come to know little cases are increasing, tie your seatbelt. That storm is going to come. Sit at home. Okay, work from home. Then wear mask, maintain social distances whenever you are going out. Because it's a disease, the first wave we thought never the cases went more than 1 lakh. We took it for granted, New Year, social fun. The same thing can happen in your future also. Protect yourself by vaccination. Protect yourself from vaccination and stay safe, stay healthy. Any problem you have about cancer, Zen Onco, we are there. We are available with you in every part of India. We are there. In every state, every district, we are there. Just contact us. We will guide you. We will see that you get the best doctor, best hospital, best treatment, and at an affordable price at your doorstep. And the quality of the care will be the standard which you will find anywhere in the world.
Thank you.
Any problem, you join us. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir. That was a very powerful message. And I think the session must have cleared a lot of doubts which our viewers must have had around cancer. Not just cancer, even COVID and the vaccination about COVID. So I think I would just want to thank you again for taking time out from your schedule and joining us for this session. It was a pleasure having you with us today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.